this is Zombie Cat.
This is Mr. Evilcheese.
And this is our review of my birthday present from Fu Manchu. And it's the Hot Toys 6-scale Aquaman from the Aquaman movie. Look at this fancy box.
It's got an A.
It's got all kind of fancy sparkly stuff.
That reminds me of Predator's little thing he shoots at people.
A little bit.
Yeah, nice fancy box with all kinds of scalies and things all over it. And the top says Aquaman. And there's when you lift up the cover.
There's that son of a bitch.
And he looks very shiny.
Look at that fancy trident.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke people with it. Here he is all opened it up. And I didn't even realize it came with his cool water.
I like that water.
Yeah, that base is really neat. And I was trying to see if I could get him in a pose like this where he looks like he's coming up out of the water, floating. And it works. Just barely, but it works. Took some doing.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Super detailed suits. It's a little limited though with the articulation.
Oh yeah, that especially that shirt is like super stiff.
Yeah, it's really stiff shirt, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it does. I'm impressed. I do have to say though, there's one thing that sticks out a lot, literally, and it's perfectly framed bulge.
Yeah.
I think they went a little overboard on that.
That's just how it is in the movie. Like, it's super defined, but it is.
Yeah, but they still, even if it looked like that in the movie, they could have toned it down a bit.
He comes with not a whole lot of accessories, but he's got some cool ones. Like we said, the base is really awesome. Very different from the usual Hot Toys bases. Mm-hmm. And he's got 4 alternate hands and a trident, which is really nice and shiny.
You know, having this background behind everybody makes them all look like villains.
Well, maybe he's a villain.
He looks sinister.
Maybe he's gonna go.
Go stab some fish
Yeah.
and eat them.
I like his bullets.
Maybe those are fish spines.
Up close, I mean, when you really look at them, they don't look like bullets, but just from
a distance,
Yeah.
It looks like a, what's it called, a bandolier?
Yeah. Oh, I want to mention the first part of this video where we were talking about this base. We didn't know this, but this part we're filming like a week or so later. And Fu actually said that this base is the same sculpt as an Anakin base from Star Wars. And it's supposed to be lava. So they just reused it to make water splashing. Which that's cool. I mean, it works.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Me too. But man, that is so detailed.
It's kind of funny because I actually, in the movie, didn't really like this suit. I mean, the traditional Aquaman suit is kind of freaking goofy.
Yeah, it is.
But I actually like it better on this figure than I do in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I like the
They
way...
made it look so good.
That was kind of weird for a guy to say this, but I liked him better when he didn't have like a shirt on it with his tattoos and stuff. It just looked cool. Kind of like Khal Drogo with the tattoos and or paint or whatever. It just looks cool. This, I mean, it still looks cool here, but in the movie it kind of was like, go back to your old look. But still, for it being this suit on this figure, it looks so good.
Well, I think it's kind of like, he looks cool because he's like a rebel, sort of.
Yeah.
And then the suit's just kind of, like, it's cool, but it's kind of nerdy for a superhero.
Yeah.
I like it much better on the figure because you can see all the crazy detail.
Well, I think the big part of the reason why they picked him to play Aquaman was exactly because of that. Because he has a bad reputation among casual fans as being a lame superhero. I think diehard DC fans love Aquaman, has probably some really good stories and all kinds of stuff, but just the casual fans are like, Aquaman, he's a joke. Because they make fun of him on lots of TV shows and stuff, like even. So that's why I could see why they would pick someone like Khal Drogo or I'm calling him like his real name.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah. That's probably why they picked him, because they're like, he could come out dressed like he's Poindexter golf guy, and he's going to look tough. So that's probably a good reason why they picked him. I remember when I read something where he was saying DC or Warner Brothers contacted him to be in a DC movie, and he's like, assuming it's Lobo, because he looks like he should be Lobo.
Yeah, he does.
And they told him it's Aquaman, and he was like, huh?
That's too funny. If I was him, I probably would have had the same reaction. Like, what?
And it is kind of a shame that he's Aquaman, because he would make a good Lobo.
Yeah, he would.
Unless they're gonna like CGI Lobo and make him extra big and or something. I really liked that movie. It was really cool. I was not sure what to expect, but what I thought it was, to me, I thought it was like Star Wars but underwater. It was just real crazy with all kinds of different creatures and technologies, and just the feel of it just felt like Star Wars to me.
It was fun. I liked it.
And that trident, it's super long.
Yeah, it is really long. It's kind of very sharp too for plastic.
Oh yeah, it is. I think is this the one that had
It had
warnings?
a bunch of warnings
Yeah.
about not touching any of the points.
Well, I just did.
I did it as soon as I read the warning.
I don't have a tape measure in here, but it's over a foot long. So a lot of times,
It's like taller than he is.
yeah. I was gonna say a lot of times, I will, if we're putting the accessories away, I'll put them in my accessory box, and this will not fit. But obviously, with this figure, I don't think.
We don't need to put it away.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be holding it in the case. But if it was like one of them extra accessories where you don't want him to have that, it wouldn't really fit in that box. But that suit is crazy with all them little tiny scales sculpted in there.
Mm-hmm. And they did a good job on like shading it and everything too.
Yeah. And it's got these extra little metal pieces back here to protect the back of his arm.
He's got butt flaps and thigh flaps.
And like spine looking design. And like sort of fin looking guards here. And his hands are really detailed. Looks like what's his name? The ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. Looks like those hands, but only green.
You have to kind of adjust his sleeves though, because if you get in the wrong spot, you can see his wrist joint.
Oh yeah. And you get down to his pants, and then once again, this is like you could feel the texture. It's not just like a printed on thing, which is really cool. And once again, like you mentioned, these boots are just crazy.
Yeah, I really like the iridescent parts on them. There's the top of the foot, and there's part on the back of the leg that's like that.
Yeah. And that texture there is really cool. So he is just a very well done, nice figure.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the lack of articulation that we mentioned.
Yeah, that shirt really just does not bend.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it looks really good though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like this pose is pretty good for him popping out of the water. And it's not like we need to put him in other poses. This would be fine.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with it, but it would be nice if you could put his arms up more, because even just having his arm at a normal upward angle, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And you definitely can't leave him like that with that shirt and mess it up. I think the likeness on him's pretty good. It definitely looks like him.
Yeah. Does it have his little eyebrow thing? I think it does right there.
Mm-hmm. And they did do like the weird metallic thing on the hair again, but it kind of works for him because it just makes it look like his hair's wet.
Yeah. I think it works for him better than some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even notice that. I think this is almost blonde down here, probably because of Aquaman, the comic character. They wanted to get a little bit of blonde in there. Is that was it like that in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember it being brown, but
No, it was lighter at the bottom.
I forget if we mentioned this, but it might be how it looked in the movie. It just seems like his head might be a little small, but I'm not sure.
I think It did look like that in the movie just because the suit's bulky.
Yeah, it might be.
That material.
Just can't remember. It's supposed to look like armor, I guess. The zombie cat just looked up pictures and just was showing me, and that is accurate. That is how it looks. Like the suit is bulky in the movie, and his head looks a little smaller.
And his hair in the movie is actually even more blonde at the bottom than it is here. But this, I still think this looks really good.
Yeah. It could be like wet, extra wet there or something. Mm-hmm. Because he's underwater. Well, I guess he's popping out of water. Or maybe it's like SpongeBob rules where he's popping out of the water underwater.
Coming out of an underwater lake.
Yep.
I was just being a total creep on the internet. Because I was trying to look up pictures of him full body in this suit so I could see the accuracy of this area. And it is in fact not accurate. I don't know why they made that, like, I don't even know what you call it, like the buckle piece. It's supposed to be much smaller than that. And they just, they made it huge and it's just a perfect arch around his nether regions. I don't understand why they did that.
So I guess we'll do the articulation. But yeah, it is definitely limited. But the head can go back and forth a little bit. The hair is obviously going to hinder. Here at the shoulders, it's pretty limited. You can go up about that far, but then it starts to bunch up.
And it also pushes right back down.
Yeah, it won't stay. It won't stay up there. And you can't really twist it. And you can't go forward. It just goes back. It's kind of like if you've bought the WWE figures when they come with a rubber jacket that doesn't really. Mm-hmm. I think at the elbows you actually can bend a little more though. Once again, I don't know if I would leave it like that.
Yeah, because with that fold, it's probably going to damage the plastic.
Yeah, but still, if you're just messing around, you can do that. And then at the wrist, it's got the hand. That's all pretty good right there. And I think it can move at the torso.
But it just pops back basically again.
Yeah.
You move a tiny bit.
Yeah, you pretty much have to stay in that position. So it does. It would be nice if they would have figured out a better way to get a little more articulation in there. Mm-hmm. Then at the hips, this is kind of like Spider-Man, them type of figures with this type of suit. There is a lot more articulation here than there is in the upper body, but still it is somewhat limited. The knees is a lot better here. And down at the ankle. Pretty good at the ankle.
Well, even the knee is worrying me because if you look at the back of his leg, that plastic bunches up, that plasticky fabric.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not sure, but it seems like that might damage that fabric too.
It might. So yeah, articulation is very, very limited on this guy.
I'm okay with putting him in a simple pose though, because he looks fantastic.
Yeah. And with him popping out of the water, there's only so many poses to do.
Yeah, I like having him posed like he's floating there. But they should have made the stick part a little bit longer, because as you can see, he's not that far up from the water, and I have it all the way at the top.
Yeah. So there he is next to Hot Toys Batman from Arkham Knight and Hot Toys Wonder Woman from Batman vs. Superman. They look cool together. It is kind of weird that he has plastic hair and she has real hair. But you could just say it's because it's all wet.
Yeah. Maybe Aquaman just uses a lot of gel.
Maybe.
It's like solidified in place.
I think there is a Wonder Woman come out that has sculpted hair now for some reason, but I don't know why.
Here he is next to his little blonde fish.
There she is, but that's about how small she'd be next to him. She'd be like, guess what? I can do dragons now. Do dragon stuff. Shoot fires.
She's gonna do dragons?
Yep. He's like, I'll put them out with my water. Like, but we're married. or something.
Is it a song of water and fire?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot before I decided to put myself on this stand that my base doesn't come off. Now I feel stupid. Just floating here with this thing on my feet.
It's a surfboard.
Good excuse. I'll use that as a surfboard.
You're just hopping in the air from a wave that you...
I'm shredding waves. Well, I really like this figure. I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I like that pose also almost as much as him popping out of the water.
Mm-hmm. He needs a different hand, though. The gripping hand looks weird just
Yeah, this
there.
one. He just like...
Uh-huh.
He's got an invisible thing in there.
Wiener.
Yeah, invisible wiener. Yeah, his suit is really, 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 really detailed. But it is pretty limited on articulation. But it just does look so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we were saying, even this pose here where he's holding the trident like that, the sleeve's folded, so I wouldn't want to leave him like that.
Yeah.
But we could find a position that works.
Mm-hmm. And the likeness is really good on his head, too.
Mm-hmm.
And face. It's pretty damn good. And the base is really good.
Yeah, I like it all. Thank you, Fu, for sending this to me. And I think it's pretty funny. The only reason he chose to send this to me is because he knows that I like chasing him. And he even wrote a thing in the package about you getting jealous. I think you're safe.
Okay. But look at that bulge.
It's threatening.
And that super long trident. It's like over a foot long. And his invisible dildo.
In his hand. He's gonna beat you with it. Well, I'm Zombie Cat.
And I'm Mr. Evilcheese.
Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Now, where the fuck did I put that dragon egg? Can't find it anywhere. Oh. Ah. There we go.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just getting my dragon egg here.
What dragon egg? What are you talking about?
Don't you see it? This thing right here. That.
I don't think that's a dragon egg.
Oh, of course it is. Can't you see the scales on it?
Yeah, it does have scales.
Well, I'm just going to need to take this and put it in a fire, because that's how you hatch dragon eggs.
Yeah, you're not gonna put it in fire. No way is that happening.
Here we go.
Ah! What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh!
I'm hatching your egg, you idiot.
Ah!
Oh, it looks like the egg's coming open now, but the dragon just looks like a little burnt sausage.
Oh, damn it, man. You see them other pictures there? Why don't you click on one of them to see the video? Or you could subscribe, Nate. Oh, damn it.